This is Nicole. Like many, she was caught in the rat race.
Is this my life? Just working for money.
A major life event had Nicole and her family reevaluate things.
But that gives us time to think, what's the purpose of life?
Yeah.
What do we want to do?
But how did she end up in Portugal?
And I've never thought I want to go to Europe because first, it's different language.
Yes.
And secondly, I've been spending my life in North America.
And will she stay here?
It's a hard decision for us. Do we want to make it a permanent home?
What has she learned that she can pass on to you?
The best advice I would say it's don't isolate yourself.
Let's learn more.
Nicole, why did you choose to move to Portugal?
Well, it was a decision during the COVID.
Okay.
Like I was home for Chinese New Year in Taiwan. And then my husband, he was in Portugal because he used to work with Benfica.
Okay.
Yes. So we were, he's in Portugal, I was in Taiwan for Chinese New Year. But all of a sudden the COVID kicked in. So we're not able to travel anymore.
And you were separated?
Yes.
Oh, that's awful.
So I was in Taiwan stuck and he was in Portugal and we were separated for 18 months.
Wow. Oh, no. Okay.
And during that time, I was with my family. And because we're separated, the only thing we can do is talk on the phone. So we start to think and talk. We used to be very, very busy and always working in Asia, the style, the lifestyle. But that gives us time to think, what's the purpose of life?
Yeah.
What do we want to do? So at the time that he invited me, he was telling me, do you want to come and visit Portugal? And I've never thought I want to go to Europe because first, it's different language.
Yes.
And secondly, I've been spending my life in North America, in the US, in Canada, and also in Asia. So the only place that I would thought is moving back to Canada. It would be very easy for me. But while he was talking about Portugal, I did some research. So I thought, okay, let's see, it's beautiful, and then we visit. So finally we came, and there's one thing that I was considering, the very, very important fact that I need. It's the first one is I want a church for me, for my family.
Okay.
So there's one church that I found in Cascais. So I really want to go. So we found this church, and then we travel all the way to Portugal, and then we visit the church, and that's how we started.
So is that how you chose Cascais, or you were thinking Cascais, but then you found the church?
No, it was the church.
Wow, okay,
Yes.
So the church kind of dictated where you lived, but then when
Yes.
you got to Cascais, you're like, I could live here.
Well, I only traveled to Europe. The only experience I had, it's for business. Because I travel to France, to Paris, to Italy every year for business. But it's for work, so I never enjoy, really.
Right.
The first time I traveled to Portugal, I found it's the same.
Okay, yeah, just about work. It was like the other places.
Yes,
yeah.
in Lisbon, it was the same. So
Okay.
I was thinking and considering if I should. Because I found the church that's in Cascais. It's Riverside International Church of Cascais. So I travel by the train from Lisbon to Cascais, and the minute I walk out from the train station, I'm like, oh, this is so beautiful. And it's like heaven.
Yeah.
So we travel, and then I walk around and I explore the Cascais, and I fall in love.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so the church brought you here, but then when you were looking around, you're like, this is nice. I
Yes.
could definitely see ourselves living here.
Yes.
And you have a daughter, right?
Yes, and I have a son.
And a son. Okay, so the whole family was moving. You felt like it was a good fit
Yes.
to come to Cascais.
Yes.
Okay, so you landed here, but you actually ended up moving, right? You
Yes.
lived here for a few years, and then
Yes.
you moved. So let's talk about that. Why did you move, and where did you move to, and how is that going?
Okay, so I found this church, and I went into the church, and this church family just give us the feeling like home. And I don't know why, I can't explain that, but they're just so friendly, they're very supportive because it's an international church.
Okay.
That everybody, most of the people, they move around the world to Cascais, to Lisbon. So they have the same experience. We have the same faith, same core value. And then we started here, and they just came. The church people just came in. They just talk, and they just try this the best to help us how to find a house and how to settle in, and the school, the kids, and kids go to Sunday school. They have different ministries in different ages. So that's how we settle in Portugal with the new life.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
great. Okay,
yes.
so a community right away, which is very
Yes.
helpful, because I think that's hard sometimes for people. They don't build a community right away, so it feels a little isolating.
Yes, yes.
And then maybe they could not like Portugal or blame Portugal because they haven't built a community. So you were able to build that right away,
Yes.
which makes it feel like home.
Right.
Okay, and so you lived in Cascais for a few years, and then you ended up moving, but you're
Yes.
close by.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Where did you move to?
I moved to Oeiras.
Okay,
Yes.
and how far is that from Cascais?
So 15 minutes by highway.
Okay, you have a car.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so why did you end up moving out of Cascais?
Well, we didn't have any idea what to do in Portugal at the first 3 years.
Uh-huh.
That we're trying to figure it out, and we're trying to navigate, and it's a hard decision for us. Do we want to make it a permanent home?
Okay.
Right. So, and also it's very difficult for us to find our living in a foreign country where you don't speak the language.
Right.
And you don't really perfectly understand the culture.
Uh-huh.
From where I was coming from, I was in branding and marketing. Without the language, there's no way I can do it.
Right.
Yeah. So we're trying and praying a lot about the future. What should we do? And we didn't know that, we didn't really decide what we want to do. And we didn't know this is coming. The business was coming.
Uh-huh.
So we started to look for a house from Cascais, and all the way that we didn't find the one that we wanted to, and we placed some offers, but it didn't went through. So we come all the way from Cascais to Oeiras,
Okay.
and we thought, okay, this is a nice place, nice neighborhood, and it's very close to Lisbon. It's in the middle of Lisbon in Cascais. So I think that's a good choice for us to go either way.
Yeah.
So that's how
makes
we
sense.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you bought your home there.
Yes.
Okay, so you bought your home, not knowing that you'd end up coming to Cascais a lot more often because you own a cafe now, which is
Yes.
where we are. Okay, so how did that happen, owning a cafe? Because you were in branding and marketing, but you weren't working when you first came here.
No.
So you're just trying to figure out what should we do?
Yes, yes. Like I mentioned, like during the COVID, we had a lot of thinking. Like, is this my life? Just working for money. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we start to pray and think of what do we want to bring to the family, and what do I want to leave for my family. So I think we kind of changed our mind that we wanted to have more family time, and we want to spend more time with our kids, and also that to build something that we can spend time all the time together. But when we were here, like nothing I can do. So I think everybody need to work very hard and think about what do you want, and we need to work for it and go for it.
Uh-huh.
So we decide, okay, let's do something in Portugal, then we can stay, and we take the challenge that. So all of a sudden that we've been praying, and something came up from Idealista that I was browsing,
Yeah.
thinking if we should buy another apartment to collect some rent more and
Okay.
things.
Uh-huh.
But one business pop up that's in Cascais.
Uh-huh.
So I thought, oh, this is interesting. Oh,
Yeah.
and then I sent to my agent, and I sent to my husband. I say, do you want to see this? And he say, of course, let's explore. So our agent just told us, oh, I got connect with the owner, so we can see this afternoon.
Wow. Okay. Pretty fast.
Yes, in Portugal, this is very fast.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
So we came and we didn't know, because we pass by every week to the church. It's just the corner.
Uh-huh.
But we didn't know this is the restaurant. So we came, and it's an old Portuguese cafe.
Okay.
And we saw the garden. And I immediately thought, oh, this is a nice place, a nice neighborhood. So what should we do? So we went home, and we discussed. And then we thought, okay, for this neighborhood, what are the missings?
Yeah.
and what can we provide
Uh-huh.
to the community and to the neighborhood. So we thought about it, and because my husband is very good at cooking.
Okay.
Yes, and because of our background that we're from Asia, so we kind of like we had mixed culture and different tastes
Uh-huh.
from the Western and from the Portuguese food.
Uh-huh.
So we thought, okay, it's nice to blend all the essence together.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, there are many different brunch cafes right now in Cascais and in Lisbon.
Uh-huh.
But I thought we think about it, and we thought, okay, there's something missing for these kind of brunch cafe. It's the Asian influence.
Okay.
So we want to bring the Asian influence into the lifestyle of the Westerner and in Europe,
Yeah.
in Cascais. So we're bringing all these essence, spice, and the way of cooking to present
Yeah.
to the community.
Yeah, that's amazing. So as I drink my coffee here, I noticed that you're using Costa Nova as the
Yes.
brand. Why did
Yes.
you choose that brand, and can you explain a little bit about it?
Well, first, I love Costa Nova. I like the design and the elegance, that they're very simple, very modern. And at the same time, I spoke with the distributor and the brand because I love them. And they introduced me with this plates and the cups that they are strong.
Uh-huh.
They're perfect for dishwashers.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yes, so they actually designed something that's for the restaurants.
Okay.
They're not dedicated, so it's perfect for us to use, and it also elevate, and they match with the brand that I'm trying to introduce to the community, to the neighborhood. So I love them and the colors and everything. So that's why we choose to use Costa Nova. And at the same time, like I mentioned, that I would love to merge and to put all the cultures together. You will notice that our name is called La Jardin.
Uh-huh.
It's a French name.
Uh-huh.
And we're bringing the Asian culture into the brunch lifestyle, to the American style, and also for sure that we need to introduce the Portuguese
Yes.
into this whole project together.
Amazing. And is it just brunch, or you do lunch and dinner as well?
Well, eventually we want to move into dinner,
Okay.
yes. But now, because we just started in June,
Okay.
like we bought the business literally in April.
Wow, that's actually very fast for everything to move along, right?
Right. Again, we have the help from the church.
Uh-huh.
That there are many different peoples, and they're so talented
Yeah.
in every different area.
Uh-huh.
So we have those people coming in to help me with the designs and the renovations and advices that we had. And also, I think, well, God has been very good to us.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it was hard. I have to tell you, the whole process is painful and it's hard. You have to have a lot of faith and courage that to face every day. There are different problems and different challenges in every detail. Everyone knows that the restaurant business is all the details.
Yes.
And especially in a foreign country, that you need to deal with different languages, you need to deal with different laws and rules. It's hard. But after all, I think our mindset is that we wanted to do this, we want to make it happen. Let's do it, and let's find a way to do it. And by the grace of God, we have a lot of help and advices from friends and families from church.
Great. Had you ever owned a cafe anywhere else before?
Yes.
You had? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I was working in Shanghai for 8 years.
Okay, so you had a little bit of experience on what it
Yes.
was like. So that was
Right.
helpful when you were here, even though it's a different country and different rules and
Right.
laws, but you had a little bit of experience, so that's helpful.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Well, how is it different from like Shanghai, for example, and here? Like, what were some of the major differences with the cafe?
Well, I think the first, it's Chinese were different with the European.
Yes.
The taste and the culture and how they would like to be served.
Okay.
It's very different. And also the way of presenting your food, the taste, and the way that you have to comply with all the requirements and certificates, and especially also the employees, the employments,
Oh, yes.
that's very different. And to deal with that, we need to understand every rules and understand what are the requirements, because in Europe it's more like protecting the employees, that they have a lot of rules and a lot of regulations that you need to provide and protect the employees. That requires more money.
Yeah.
Yes. So you have to put that into consideration. In the very beginning, I didn't know. I thought it would be the similar
Yeah.
to where we are, but it's very different.
Okay, but you figured everything out and everything is running smoothly now, even though it's quite new.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Well, we're getting there.
Okay.
Like, I understand to start a business and doing a business, every day you're facing different challenges. And the worst part, difference with in China and in Portugal, it's you facing the unknown. Because we don't know the rules and regulation. There's something beyond our knowledge that I could not expect. But in China, in back in Asia, because we are from there, so you know the culture, you know, like more and less. But here, you don't.
You had to learn all of that.
Yes,
but you
yes.
had good resources. You had different experts in different fields that could help you along the way.
Yeah.
That's very helpful,
Yes.
right? The connections, especially here in Portugal, the connections are very helpful.
Right.
So then how did the family adapt, living in a new country, starting something new? Like, how have your kids adapted and how has that gone?
Well, kids love it.
Oh, good.
You know, every kids from Asia, they will love here.
Okay.
Because kids in Asia, they go to school for long hours, and they have a lot of homeworks, and they work until like 8 or 9, right?
Yeah.
And until very late. So when they move to here, it's like a paradise.
yeah, they can be more of a kid, I guess.
Yes, and they get off very early, and they go to different activities, and they get to go to the beach, go outdoor activities, especially in Portugal. I think it's perfect for kids who love outdoor activities. Because versus when I was in Canada, we do everything indoor. It's too cold.
Yeah.
But here you get to have the sun, have a good weather, and all sorts of outdoor activities, especially for the beach, that you go surfing, you go diving. That's luxury for us. So they love it.
Good.
And for my younger daughter, she adapted Portuguese like in 6 months.
Wow.
Yes, so quickly. But my elder son, he's mostly in English. So it's harder for him to speak Portuguese, and he's always in international school. But we thought, okay, it's fine. That for future, I think it should be fine, because for English, it might be broader for him as well.
Right. Yes, that makes sense. Education in English.
Yes.
Right. So then, is it necessary to know Portuguese here in Cascais, or is it so mixed that you hear a lot of English anyway, you can get by?
I think in Cascais, you don't need to. Yeah, like everybody, even they're Portuguese, they're speaking English, good English. Only those older generation, they still speak Portuguese. Yes, in everyday operation, I will come across someone who don't really understand English. But I think a good thing for me as well, like because of the daily operation, I'm learning a lot of Portuguese as well.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So in Cascais, I think I would say 70 to 80% that you're speaking English is fine.
Okay.
You can get around, no problem. But of course, when you're dealing with the government or the public servants, that you need to speak Portuguese.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so what would be like 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you would give someone who's moving here with a family? Just something that they should know before they move.
Okay. I think the first thing is you have to have this, you have to set up your mind. Like if you cannot set up your mind that you're moving to a foreign country, which if, like me, I don't speak the language and I have no friends or families in this country, then you have to set up your mind that this is something that will come across every day in our daily life.
Right.
If I have this expectation already, that it's easier for you to adapt. And the best advice I would say, it's don't isolate yourself. You need to go to different places and put yourself out to talk to people and find yourself a good community that suits for you and your family, that people can get together and you can, walk the journey with someone who had experience and they can help you. And you can make your new home, new friends, and new family here.
That's great. And then what about advice for someone who might want to buy a business or start a business here? Anything that you would want to tell them?
Well, I think before you buy the business, it would be great and it would be essential that you have a good lawyer, you
Okay.
have a good accountant, and you have a good agent. That three you need to have.
Okay. Lawyer, accountant, agent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they can help you. And they can help you to set up the business properly, because we had this experience for our business. We didn't set up the company for restaurant.
Okay.
We set up the company for other industries.
Okay.
And because this is coming very fast and we didn't expect it, while we are setting this business up, that we have to deal with so many different things just to change the activities.
Okay.
And it's difficult.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let someone else handle all of that, right?
Yes.
Have a good team
Yes.
that can be doing this.
And think of it, and this is what I want to do. So just from the first step, let's put it right. If you want to change anything during this area, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Well, at Expats Everywhere, we believe that living abroad transforms lives. So how has living abroad transformed your life?
I think I feel like things are more out of control,
Okay.
especially in Portugal.
Uh-huh.
Everything is you're waiting unknown time and spending unknown energies to make one simple thing to be done. So that transformed my life and my family. Is that we need to hold on to faith on everything, and you have to be brave and be courageous on doing something that you believe it's going to be good,
Yes.
and you hold on to it.
Well, thank you, Nicole. And if you want to know more about Cascais, then check out this city guide right here. And Josh and I were here 3 years ago, and we do a comparison of how Cascais has changed. That video will pop up right here. Now, let's get moving.